This is Valley News Live at 10.
Welcome to Valley News Live at 10. I'm Stacy Van Dyke.
I'm Justin Betty. It is frigid out there tonight across the valley, and it's only getting colder.
Both Fargo and West Fargo Public Schools have canceled classes for tomorrow in anticipation of the dangerous wind chills. First
Alert Team Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joins us now with details in your first look to forecast. Hutch.
Truly dangerous conditions out there, Justin. Thank you, and good evening, everyone. As we head into the overnight hours, we already have dangerous temperatures and wind chills, and as the temperature falls, things will get worse. And we have the potential for some ground blizzard conditions taking place tomorrow as the wind is expected to pick up, and a chance for some snowfall as well. Here's a look outside, and it just looks like that air is thick. So thick you can chew it. And in fact, take a look at these wind chills right now. 37 below on exposed skin in Fargo. Oaks 42 below and 40 below right now. That wind chill on exposed skin in Grand Forks. Taking it a little closer, we do have pockets where that wind has died down and it's not as bad. But look at this, Gwinner and Oaks both at 42 below. How about Rolla, the big winner, almost 50 below already for a wind chill with wind chills this low. 40 below in Grand Forks. Exposed skin can freeze solid in 15 minutes or less. That's frostbite. You need to put the survival kit in the vehicle. Chance of some snow developing from this system here. Wind chill warnings for all of our counties except the far east. All in all, it looks brutally cold, and as the wind picks up from the south tomorrow, we are anticipating some problems as far as visibility and potential ground blizzard conditions go. Hour by hour details coming up here.
Ground blizzard, sounds bitter. All right, thank you, Hutch.
New for you tonight at 10. A woman was seriously injured in a crash on an icy highway in Beltrami County. That happened just after 1:30 this afternoon on Highway 72 at mile marker 34. Highway Patrol says a Ford F-150 was heading north when it collided with a Dodge Ram heading south. The driver of the Ford, a 19-year-old, suffered minor injuries, while the driver of the Dodge Ram, 39-year-old Anna Shu, was taken to Sanford in Bemidji with injuries that officers say are life-threatening.
We're getting reports tonight that power was out at the Walmart on 52nd Avenue in Fargo for at least some time. A viewer sent us this video saying the power was out for at least 30 minutes, then came back on. They went back out again. We are still waiting for information from Walmart's corporate office as to what exactly happened and if the power is back on.
Local auto shops say they're the busiest they've been in a long time as the bitter cold and snowy roads are doing a number on many people's cars.
Yeah, especially if those people didn't prepare ahead of time. Valley News Team's Alex Larson reports.
You should have ideally done it sooner.
Auto care shops have been seeing a lot of issues due to the cold. Both Elite and Dan say it's the busiest time of year. And this year particularly, the phones have been off the hooks.
There's cases where we are getting, into the days and weeks.
Yeah, normally we can actually do same-day service and walk-in service, but this last week we've actually been booking into next week now, unfortunately.
This has been the case with most shops in the area. Some even being booked out as long as 2 weeks.
Different issues that we've been running into as far as just no starts, getting towed in, obviously lack of heat.
I've seen a lot of people that are trying to continually start their car so that they're flooding it out, and then they have to change the spark plugs and the oil.
You may not have a warning sign something is wrong with your car until it's too late.
You can do some serious damage, even possibly wrecking your engine.
And these repairs can cost you quite a bit of money.
From just a simple battery to $150 for parts, labor, and tax installed, all the way up to $1,600 sometimes for more internal repairs.
These experts say to stay with your maintenance and seasonal checkups to prevent these expensive repairs.
Go off the recommendations, definitely check your batteries, make sure we have enough coolant and fluids topped off. That way it can make the world of difference between keeping your motor strong and running throughout the season or failure and repairs necessary required then.
It's just a lot of if you could do some preventative maintenance type stuff.
Alex Larson, Valley News Live.
And remember to let your vehicle run for at least 15 minutes or so before you start driving off. It's another step to save you and your car some problems down the road.
A sprinkler system at a senior living facility in West Fargo froze up overnight, and they're not alone. The Arctic air is causing many pipes to burst, costing homeowners and businesses thousands in damages.
Pipe freeze up, strain freezing, water lines bursting. Yeah, we're fairly busy with this stuff in the winter. As soon as the temperature gets below freezing, we get a lot of calls. We cannot get to them all, but we try to.
Common areas and residential rooms at New Perspective Senior Living in West Fargo were not affected by the burst sprinklers. Officials say other than the cleanup, it was business as usual. Meanwhile, the city of Audubon, Minnesota is issuing a boil water advisory because it says bacteria in the water could make you sick. The city says they lost water pressure this morning, causing the problem. They're telling people not to drink, brush their teeth, or cook with the water for at least 24 hours.
Charges have now been filed against a suspected gunman in the Mall of America shooting on New Year's Eve there. 18-year-old Khalil Markel Wiley of St. Paul was charged today with 2 felony counts, second-degree assault with a dangerous weapon. He'll make his first court appearance tomorrow morning. Wiley allegedly shot a man in the leg after a fight inside the mall. Another man was also grazed by a bullet. If convicted, he could face up to 7 years in prison and/or a $14,000 fine.
Now to a Valley News Live exclusive. After weeks on a ventilator and months in Sanford's critical care hospital, a 24-year-old Minnesota man rang in the new year with a smile. It's a story we first told you about back in September as a serious case of West Nile virus left Dryden Thompson fighting for his life. Thompson is now undergoing intense therapy at a specialty hospital in Denver, where his loved ones say he's making huge strides.
Just the week that he's been there, crazy transformation. He can sit up in his chair for long periods of time, as before he could never do that. He can hold his head up on his own for hours on end.
You can stay up to date on Thompson's recovery on Caring Bridge. We also have a GoFundMe linked. Just head to our VNL News app and click on this story.
6 health experts who initially advised President Biden on America's COVID response say it's time to change direction.
Across the country, many hospitals are again at capacity. Tom Costello reports.
The message from leading pandemic experts writing in the Journal of the American Medical Association: COVID-19 is here to stay, and the country needs to adapt to a new normal since vaccines and infections don't seem to offer lifelong immunity. That means treating COVID like other respiratory viruses.
We have to reorient our goal so that we get it to a manageable state and we can continue with our normal life while COVID's around, just like we do with flu.
The call for a new strategy comes as confirmed cases are at an all-time high, driven by Omicron. Hospitals nationwide swamped with patients, most unvaccinated, say their frontline doctors and nurses are under tremendous stress.
We're just beyond exhausted, depleted, and we're asking for your grace and understanding while in the hospital.
Oxygen's not enough, the ventilator's not enough, and they require ECMO, and they're laying in bed for months, for weeks to months.
It's just been a lot of uncertainty, and I'm tired.
Meanwhile, pediatric COVID hospitalizations are at an all-time high, most involving unvaccinated children. For children under 5, a croup-like cough is often the sign of Omicron infection. In the ICU at Colorado Children's Hospital, a third of the cases are COVID admissions.
Kids, like adults, are catching it just as quickly and bringing huge numbers of children to our emergency department.
Still ahead on Valley News Live at 10, hear what President Biden had to say on today's 1-year anniversary of the Capitol insurrection.
It's brutal cold here. Wind chills approaching 40 below in Fargo. It's no picnic in Frisco either, with wind chills in the 20s. Cold weather for tomorrow is going to be dangerous in the morning in particular, and then in the afternoon, wind takes hold. Ground blizzard possible. Your forecast next.